All right. Welcome back to Fireside Chat 4. It seems like forever since we've been in class, but wow, this is something. Let me see. Can you guys hear? Hopefully, I'm not too. I got to turn up the sound. So I'm not too faint. So whenever you guys log on, let me know. Oh, shoot. I'm trying to control the volume of Alexa with this. This is for the TV. How funny. Um, Alexa, volume down one. I'm playing Hamilton, my favorite. So, as you saw for tonight, for today we have a unit 2 review, end of unit review form. So, I was just wondering if any of you had any questions that you see with anything. It's pretty much laid out. I know that you can't draw. You know what, Sarah and you. So here's something, Kaya. Go ahead and finish it because there's a new sheet tomorrow. Again, the end of unit review will not start until Monday. And, you'll finish it when you can. So it's pretty, I was looking at it and I think you guys know it because it's about tides, it's about eclipses. You can find pictures that you can put into the squares online of a lunar eclipse and a solar eclipse. If you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to, um, ask them. Good question. I appreciate that. Let's see. I was trying to look at any other thing because I wanted to spend this time as a review, and hopefully all the quizzes and the the study.com, the purpose games have been helpful. Um, if you have any questions you want me to include on purpose games, that would be good. By the way, congratulations to Robert. Yes, last time I checked last night, he was number one. So, Robert, I've got a prize for you. And I think you're going to like it. It's kind of like out of the birthday box. And no, it's not going to be Jolly Ranchers because you get Jolly Ranchers anyway. Okay. So I'm on a little bit early, I know. And I know more people will be coming on, or maybe not, because this is day 4 and the newness has worn off. But um, if you have any comments or questions, please email them. And if you can't get on, and I will do my best to help you. So my eyes are going to look strange because I'm going to go to Purpose Games to see if Robert's still number one. So I have not left. I am still on. All right. So let's see who is number one for um, this last test. I can't wait. Eesh, I'm excited. See how you guys are doing. My games. Let me click on the see who, if anybody tried to beat out Robert. And Robert is still number one. He answered them in 11.8 seconds. Congrats. 2 seconds faster than Will Bowers, who's in second place, and Ana Gracia, who's in third, followed by Tara, who's in fourth place. Congrats, guys. So, as people log on, any questions about the end of unit review? I can see that my mic, hopefully, I'm getting closer because it doesn't look like I'm very turned off the sound. Sorry, guys. That was me. Any questions? Okay, so I see 2 people on, but one person whose name I see. Whoever you are, welcome. Um, so I will look at the questions and see whether or not um, what could be any kind of, let's see. Oops, wrong thing. All right, so let me look at the first thing. The first one, you're to draw a picture showing the Earth, Moon, and tidal bulges. Instead of drawing, I would say the best thing to do is to go ahead and, find a picture that shows the tidal bulges, and you know how many high tides and low tides do you have in a single day, and know that there are 2 highs and 2 lows in a typical 25-hour period of time, you know. But instead of giving you the answers, I will publish tomorrow an answer key that you can self check your answers for part one. Part two will be given to you tomorrow. Okay, Rocky, please don't start. Come here. Come here, Rocky. Come here. Oh my God. Here he is. Hey, hi, Sean. Too high, too low. You're so good. Yay. All right. So here's another question. I'm going to go look at the next one. Again, part of doing well on a test is taking the time to fill these things out. And many of you that have been doing it all year, I've seen many of you have tremendous success, and keep it up, guys. And if you don't, if you're not having success yet, know that in time you will be successful. Just give yourself time to grow. Okay? Welcome, third person. So let me look at the second question. And so if you see my eyes kind of wander, it's because I'm going to be going back and forth between the question and talking to you guys. So here we go. The second, again, find a picture that shows a neap tide. Okay? And talk about with the relationship between the sun and the moon and earth. Know that a 90-degree angle forms. Okay, hi, Hannah. Good morning to you. So good to see everyone. And you're all healthy, I hope, and no fevers. Same here, knock on wood. Luckily, my coffee table is real wood, so I'm knocking on it. And, stay healthy. Want to see you guys sooner than later. Let's see. So, know that you can find plenty of pictures online that shows you a neap tide, but you're looking for that 90-degree angle. Oh, can't see. 90-degree angle. Here's where the sun would be. This is where, well, the sun is further away. So this is where the sun would be. This is where the moon would be. And Earth would be right here. The moon is closer, so it's pulling the water this way. The sun is pulling the water that way. Therefore, very little difference between high and low tides. That's what happens during a neap tide. So it's neap or nep. I don't know. I've heard it called neap nep. As long as it's spelled NEAP, you can pronounce it any way you want. It's okay with me. All right. So that's the second question. So let me go through the third question. And hi, Griffin. Good morning. Good morning. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing fine. I hope everything is going well in your house, and yay if it is. Desperate measures call for desperate times call for desperate measures, as they say. So let's look at question 3. The spring tide. This is where you're going to draw where the earth, the moon, and the sun form a straight line, or a straight line is in a 180-degree angle, right? And so that's when you have neap tides occur during full and excuse me, I said it wrong. Neap tides occur during first and third quarter moons, while as spring tides occur during full moons and new moons. So it's that you know added effect of the sun's pull plus the moon's pull is given the name because it springs up or springs down. Okay. Oh, by the way, speaking of spring, happy spring, the first day of spring. And the weather's like bad. Who knew? But it's New England, right? So, New England springs are just second winters. Okay. So, that getting back to that. So, I finished the first 2 questions, I think. Let me look at, I'm on question. I just finished the first 3 questions looking at the Goldilocks zone. So I guess you guys can tell me, where is the Goldilocks zone? What temperatures would indicate that you're in the Goldilocks zone? Can you guys tell me? And please give me a read on if I'm loud enough, because I'm looking at my mic meter and it's kind of low. And I just want to make sure I'm loud enough for you guys. So, what's in the Goldilocks zone, guys? What's the temperature if a planet's in the, oh, great, Sean, 0 to 100 degrees Celsius. By the way, remember the degree sign is option 0. Yay. But anyway, who cares? This is just a review, so yay. Anyway, so I like the carrot. No, option zero. Griffin. But know that if a planet falls in that Goldilocks zone, it might have life. But there are other factors. What other factors would there be to determine whether or not life could be sustained on the planet? Okay, we have temperature, but that's not the only thing. What else would let you know that it could sustain life? And that's key. Hint. Oh, it's so much. Oh, I can barely lift my arm. Well, it has to be terrestrial, but who's to know? We're thinking of life as we know it, but think of it. Oh, I can barely lift my arm. Oh, water? Close, but I can barely lift my arm. That's a clue, guys. I can barely lift my arm. Oh, I can lift my arm really good here on Earth. Oh, new planet. I can bear gravity. Yes. They're looking for planets that have about the same amount of gravity as Earth. Again, we're talking about life as we know it. Okay? We can't talk about life as we don't know it because guess what? We don't know it. All right. So that's one. What else could be a factor? Oh, 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 that's not a very good clue, huh? You can see why I'm a teacher, not an actress. Let me go check my answer key. Ha ha ha. I got the answer key. All right. We did talk about, yeah. All right. Think Venus. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. I'm your desire. What could be a factor? I said, life is, you did gravity, atmosphere, great. The thickness of the atmosphere. If the atmosphere is too thick, even if the overall temperature is close, falls in the Goldilocks zone temperature, if it's too thick, it can't support life. Okay. So you don't want a gas giant, even if it is in the temperature zone, its atmosphere is too thick, hence gas giant, and it couldn't support life as we know it, not life in general, because we don't know anything other than what as we know it. Okay. So very good. It's the thickness of the atmosphere. Remember, with Venus's atmosphere being 1,000 kilometers thick, it's very crushing. It would be very crushing for us. Yeah. Anyway, so let me go on to the next because there's 10 total questions. I'm very conscious of the time. I do not want this video longer than um, 20 minutes because anybody that reviews it, it's not fair to them to spend more than 20 minutes. But here we go. Here's the next question. We talked about the two factors. The balance between what two or possibly three, depending on how you look at it, factors keep satellites in orbit. So, what keeps satellites in orbit and not crashing down on on us? That's two separate questions, actually. So, what keeps satellites in orbit going around us, whether it's man-made or natural satellites? What's one thing? Hint: it would go off into space but it doesn't. So what keeps the moon speed? Oh gosh, you got them both. Speed and gravity. Oh my gosh, Sean, you are on it today. It is speed and gravity. In order for any satellite to overcome our gravitational force, it has to have such speed that it will not be pulled down to Earth. And that's called the orbital speed. It has to maintain that speed. The other one, of course, Hannah, you got it right too, gravity. What keeps it going off into deep space is gravity. So those two work combined together to keep man-made and natural satellites going in a continuous orbit around the Earth. Okay? So the next question. Oh, you guys, you're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it. Oh, sorry. I'm dancing. Let me go back. Serious. Okay, serious, Ms. Moss. All right, so next one is the balance between what two possible. Oh, I already did that. Okay. The next one, you were to, phases of the moon. All right, so here we go for phases of the moon. All right, so now we're looking at phases of the moon. Are you guys ready? So find a picture that will show you the phases of the moon as viewed from Earth. Okay, so starting with new moon, and the position is between the moon is between the Earth and the sun, moving in a counterclockwise direction, never clockwise, but counterclockwise, excuse me. What is the next phase after a new moon? We're going to go through all the phases really quickly. And what side of your hand is visible? Remember raising your right hand. Everybody raise your right hand. This is my right hand, by the way. All right. This is the waning side. Left hand waxing. Oh, I said it wrong. Nobody corrected me. My bad. This is your waxing hand. This is your waning hand. Waning crescent. Sean, you are right. After waning crescent, 1 week after a new moon, what phase is it? And again, we're waxing. Good, Hannah, you got it. You, ooh, ooh. Okay, so after a waxing crescent and 7 days after a new moon, because you know the quarters are 7 days, okay? So 7 days after a new moon, okay, we have the next one where it forms a 90-degree angle, and we call that 7 days after a new moon is waiting for a response, and it is a first quarter. Yay! Both of you guys got it. First quarter. So you notice that when you go 90 degrees and you go another 90, a week goes by. So now between the next 90, you have, as you continue to grow, the moon grows. Everybody hold up your waxing hand. This is the side of the moon you can see. All right, you can put your waxing hands down. All right, so between what's next, 2 or 3 days later after, or even a waxing, once it's past the first quarter, what do we call that growing moon that's after a first quarter moon? And it begins with waxing what? A waxing what? Waiting for a response. Waxing, waxing. It is growing. We're not quite where it's 100% full. And it would be, sometimes it looks like it's full when it's not. And we call a waxing gibbous. And you could fax the gibbous to Hannah, but I know what you meant. It is a waxing gibbous. Correct. And then after the waxing gibbous, a week after your first quarter moon, you can count on it, would be the most beautiful moon that, you know, some people used to use it as light at night, you know, during slave time, slaves worked through it on the cotton fields. I know because my grandparents talked about it. And full moon, hold up your waning hand, left hand. This is my left hand, by the way. So now we're going to have a waning moon. So after a full moon, the next moon phase is what? You've had the full, and now it's getting smaller. And this is the side of the moon that's visible, and it is called the waning gibbous. Yes, you are correct, Hannah. After the waning gibbous, now 7 days. Remember, once you go 90 degrees, and that would be the next 90 degrees, would be after the waning gibbous. A week after a full moon, you can expect to see what's that phase. That's the final, and it's this side of the moon that's visible. My waning. That's right, third quarter. You are correct, Hannah. Hannah, you're a faster time. Oh, look at you guys, both of you, Hannah and Sean. Awesome. And finally, after you had that the third quarter, also known as the last quarter in some books, you have that final phase that leads back to the new moon, and it would be and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And it would be what phase? Waning crescent. That is correct. You now have done the phases of the moon. Okay, so let me look at the last two questions. You could find the lunar and solar eclipses, okay? And during a solar eclipse, I'll start with that, and then I'm going to be gone off of here. During a solar eclipse, what phase of the moon is it? That's really important. It happens during the day. I'm going to just tell you that because it's solar. So, what phase of the moon would block out the sun's light to any point on the earth during the day? New moon, you are correct. So, a solar eclipse, the phase is a new moon. What phase of the moon would be a lunar eclipse? Congratulations, you are correct, Hannah. What phase of the moon would be a lunar eclipse? So remember, they're opposites. So this should be helpful. What's opposite a new moon would be a full moon. You are correct. Then lunar is full. You are correct. Well, this ends my fireside chat. For those of you who aren't here and get a chance to view, hopefully this is helpful. I will be on tomorrow. I will have tomorrow the key to today's assignment on Classroom and have the new assignment up. You guys, it's been a pleasure. Good luck. Stay safe. Miss you guys. Miss being in front of a class. But fireside, stay safe, and goodbye. Bye, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Bye. Goodbye. You're welcome, Hannah. Goodbye, you guys.